கல்லர்வாய்ஸ் நேயர்களுக்கு வினோத் நந்தியின் அன்பான வணக்கம். இன்று பீப்புள் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஆஃப் ரஷ்யாவில் பணிபுரியும் டாக்டர் மற்றும் ப்ரொஃபஸர் மிஸ்டர் விளாடிமிர் அவர்களை நாம் பேட்டி காணவிருக்கிறோம். Hello doctor, we know who you are. Would you mind to introduce yourself for Kallarvoice listeners please?
Okay, right. Thank you very much, Mr. Vinod. It's my pleasure and honor to address an audience of respected your radio channel, and since it is very important to have information which can be spread to such a vast auditorium and in so many countries of the world for such a field of human activities as education. Education is needed to anybody, because this is life, this is career, this is spiritual satisfaction and continuous growth through the whole life. So I am Doctor Professor of People's Friendship University, and I have worked also in the Moscow State University of Medicine and Dentistry, which is also called as M3 University, as a deputy head of the Department for Innovative Educational Programs and Techniques. And also I worked in the Russian Embassy in Delhi for 4 years, lived there with my family, and my family went to the embassy school. And even they were so fond of Indian culture that they learned Indian dances, Bharatnatyam, Pushpanjali, Alaripu. So this is very familiar in our family. And of course, now children grown up, and my elder daughter also became a doctor. She is a dental surgeon, orthodontist, and works in Moscow, and very well shaped, I would say, in orthodontics. And the younger, she became a diplomat. So annually, I went to India as a part of the delegation, university's delegation, and delegations of the organization organized by the Ministry of Education of Russia for communication with the alumni. This is in Kallarvoice, and participated in seminars and conferences for the young people and their parents who were thinking of sending their children abroad for getting education.
Thank you, doctor. How long you have been doing this education service to Indian and international medical students?
This is for more since 1992, when I came from India to Moscow. Then since that time, every year I have been sending Indian students to the Russian universities. It is there are many Russian universities like Moscow First Medical University, People's Friendship University, Moscow State University of Medicine and Dentistry, Rostov University, Kursk Medical University, Bashkir Medical University, Volgograd Medical University, Kazan Medical University, and others, where just I have been sending students through. It has always been in cooperation with local Indian partners there, mainly the alumni of Russian educational institutions, and also with others reputed counterparts.
Could you brief about Russian medical education system? Is it equal as Western education system?
It is actually Russian medical system is very well known in the West and in India, and it is a 6-year-old and main course, and it can be both in English and in Russian as a medium of instruction. A 6-year-old and a 6 years course. At the end, the students get medical doctor, which is equal to MBBS.
Okay.
The duration of studies, it is, I think, half a year longer for general medicine than it is in India. The contents of education, they are based on the latest achievements of Russian and world medical science and medical techniques.
Thank you, doctor. I know that Russian medical education system is recognized by World Health Organization. Those who complete their medicine in Russia can write American Medical License Exam, MLE, and UK exam. And many of us know Russian medical degree is well recognized by Medical Council of India, MCI, and have to take some screening exams to practice in India. Could you please enlighten me with more details about it?
Yes, of course. So our just many graders who completed this MD in Russia, they left for United States, for Australia. They went to United Kingdom, and they wrote there this USMLE in America, and they are successfully practicing there now. I can tell you that there is one, for example, who did this Malik Nanavati, Dr. Malik Nanavati. He did his PG in Moscow State University of Medicine and Dentistry in orthodontics.
Okay.
He's practicing now in United States. Lavina Malhotra, also she is practicing there now. She's after People's Friendship University. And Dr. Jivan, he's in United Kingdom. He's there. Samir Azad, he's also their doctor.
Okay.
So, yes, right.
Nice.
So it is. They have the legal right to sit for these exams, since Russian education is recognized. More than that, before that, usually this American body or United Kingdom, they're sending the inquiry to the Russian university to ask for a confirmation of this course. This is an official procedure, and a Russian university is giving confirmation that yes, such student did this course from this date up to that date. So this is initial procedure, usual procedure. They are always sending such inquiries, and after that, the student is allowed to sit for USMLE.
Thank you. Doctor, I have heard some of the Russian university teaches in English, Russian, and both languages. Indian students study in their own native language or English medium. Could you please tell us whether is it easy for them to learn and study in Russian medium?
I'll tell you one thing. The thing is that Indian students and people, they usually underestimate their ability to learn other languages, because most of Indian citizens, right?
Yeah.
They know their own language, native language. They know Hindi, they know English, and they know some, other regional languages. But they never think about that they are very much capable, of studying other languages. That's why they easily learn Russian language. More than that.
Okay.
Russian language, yes, is having many common roots, Old Russian, with Sanskrit. But so Indian languages have other Indian languages also which are not based on Sanskrit. They also are having common roots with Russian. So they can learn and they easily learn. Especially there are some students who prefer to study in Russian. And then they have a 9-month language course, and during this course they also raise the knowledge of physics, chemistry, biology in the university, in the medical university, or in the Russian university, where they have medical department. Then, after that, they learn in Russian. But at the same time, they can use, and they use English books. They take English books, and they study in Russian, but at the same time they read these English books, medical books, and they get the knowledge of these equivalents, the terminology, which will be needed then further on in the screening test. But Russian medium is cheaper than these studies in English.
Thank you, Doctor. Yes, we know Russia is a very big country. Could you tell us how many medical universities are in Russia?
Actually, it is more than 100 medical universities. The thing is that all universities are only governmental. We don't have private medical universities. It is traditionally. But this usually gives them, this respect, since government is controlling. Government is strictly controlling educational process, and educational process should be based on the latest achievements of medical science. All medical professors, all associated professors, all lecturers, even just junior lecturers, all of them do research work. This is as part of their activity in the university.
Among all, how many medical universities that you are dealing with?
We have selected most, universities which are of highest quality, and at the same time they are achievable, where we can help students during their studies. So that we have close contacts with the vice rectors, with the deans of these medical departments. And when the students are coming, we are looking after them till they complete their studies. But of course, the studies, it is the responsibility of the student. This should be understood from the very beginning. So, that there are certain strict rules in the medical university. Like, for example, classes cannot be just cut. They should be. The students should not miss any classes during their studies. If they miss some 1 or 2 classes, then they have to sit and separately give a report on that topic. So it means that the quality, of education is controlled by the dean's office. And
Okay.
This is very important.
That's good to hear. Thank you, Doctor. Is Russia a safe country for Indian student?
Very safe. It is the country is is, just first of all, the Russian population, they're very friendly towards Indians, very friendly. It is the country, which is having also very close values if compared to Russian nation. I mean, in Russia, they consider very important values like family values, relations between people, this love parents and their children, respect of their children towards their parents, respect to women, to ladies. So in all the spiritual, target in life, not only money. Money, of course, capitalism has come to our country, but still,
Yep.
most of the population, they do not go after money only. Though money is needed to live, it is true, to feel free. This is correct. But nevertheless, still mentality is that more in the direction of, spiritual values. Russians are fond of reading, for example. They are just, crazy about reading. Even one of the students, he told me that when he came to underground, he was traveling in metro in Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
Then he saw that people sitting in the wagon carriage, out of say like 50, 60 people, nearly 30, 40 were having books in front of them, even more.
Okay.
He said that he was thinking they were preparing for an exam. And I explained, this is not like this. They were just using their time, while traveling, they were reading feature books like this, or whatever, just what some of them were preparing like that. This is the level of Russian nation.
That's good. That's good to hear, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Could you please tell us the approximate tuition fee in Indian money per year for Indian student in lakhs?
Well, it is like this, that it depends on the university, university-wise. Some universities which are, for example, universities which are especially central, Moscow universities, they have a little bit higher level of tuition fee. Like, for example, 5 lakhs per year. 5 lakhs rupees per year.
Mm-hmm.
This is, for example, in Moscow first section of university, or Russian People's Friendship University. If we consider the university which is in some other city, it can be less. We have also a university where it is like 2 lakhs rupees per year.
Thank you. How much it cost approximately for a student's accommodations like hostel fee and food expenditure in Moscow and outside the Moscow?
It is like this, that if we take Russian People's Friendship University, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hostel is starting with $1,000 per year up to $2,500 or $3,000 per year. But it depends on the type of lodging. Usually it is if it is 1,000, 1,200 per year, then it is there are like 2 rooms, toilet and shower attached in the multi-story building. And if it is say more, usually 4 people or 3 people in a room, or if it is it costs like more, then maybe less number of people in the room. There are also apartments where the students can stay, like a kitchen is there, shower, toilet, and 2 rooms, for example, or even 1 room apartment can be there. Then, of course, payment is about 3,000, 3,500, like this, per year.
Okay.
So it depends on the wish of parents and the student. Mm-hmm.
I understand.
But in some, for example, in Bashkir's Medical University, Ufa, the accommodation is only $100 per year. It is very, very, very economic.
Thank you. Doctor, you lived nearly 7 years in India. You know better about Indian culture? Parents would worry to send their children to abroad to study is due to food, shelter and safety. What is your advice to the parents who are willing to send their kids to Russia to pursue their education?
Excuse me, Mr. Vinod. I lived in India just, yes. I know the worries of Indian parents about their children. This is the normal thing. But I'll tell you that it is the life in Moscow is it is the same, like for example, life safety-wise, like it is in Delhi or in some other in Chennai. It is normal life of people, and it is safe enough. I have also 2 daughters, and I have a granddaughter, all girls. They live just a normal life. It depends. How what type of life the student take. If they go to the library, they study, they just have a walk. It's quite normal thing. They are absolutely safe, and if they go, for example, to the clubs or somewhere else, there is a different, of course, atmosphere there. They should be also just, depends on their behavior, their surroundings, but when they come for studies, they are in the university, they are in Moscow, they can walk in the street any time, time of the day, any time of the day. Even, now it is in Russia, the days are very long, 10 o'clock in the evening, still the sun is shining. And so people can go in the streets, be in the streets very long,
Yeah.
And yes, but it is absolutely normal and safe. Girls and boys, they live a normal student's life, absolutely normal student's life. They have a lot of, they have facilities in the university. There are the sports clubs, which are free for the students. They can go in for different types of sports, whatever they like, volleyball, basketball, even football, or even cricket. They play, cricket matches here in PFU. Yes, right. I remember that there were 2 teams, Sri Lankan team and somebody else. They were organizing this cricket competition. Because cricket is a game which is not widely spread in Russia, but when the foreigners are coming, they are playing, and also Russian teams are involved. Like that. The Indian team is usually very skillful. I remember. I remember that with the students, there are cafes with Indian food. There are also shops with Indian food. Like in People's Friendship University, there is a former student by the way, he's from Tamil Nadu, from Chennai. He is having a very big food stall, very big. So you can find anything. You can find lal kila there in 5 kilogram bags, or you can find lychee, canned lychee. You can find any pickles, any type of rice, cheaper rice. So even Indian business people, they come to this university campus to get this food for themselves. And the students, what they do? They usually, since the campus is also there, across the road, their hostels, they usually cook together. three of them, four of them, they cook some rice or something, then they take food together, or they can take food in the canteen. In the canteen, the food is very safe, very mild. Only, for example, I think European way, less spices than in India.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
So the money-wise, usually the students spend about $200-$300 per month for their living. They have a subsidized pass for three types of transport: for metro, underground, for trolley bus, and for tram. So they have this student's pass, which is very cheap if compared to commonly sold out. For students, there is a very big discount, very big, and so they can travel, any way, and using all these transport. What they do. There are plenty of museums such as like biology museum, then Cosmos Museum, then Polytechnical Museum, it is technical museum, then art galleries, famous Tretyakov Art Gallery. In St. Petersburg, they go there, the Hermitage Art Gallery. It is huge, it is most famous in the world. People are coming from abroad, from Europe, to see these galleries. And there are theaters. In Moscow, there are more than 70 theaters. So people, students can come there and they go there and they see the plays. They also famous actors are there. Famous. Many of them are very well known since they are on movies. People can see them on TV like that. They recognize them. So they go there. Ballet. It is the best in the world, I think. Russian ballet, Bolshoi theater. Students can go there, and opera theater, also opera. This is also in Bolshoi and in other theaters. There, students can spend their time. There are so many places, huge libraries. It is like foreign literature library, central library, where all dissertations which have been defended in Russia, their synopsis from abroad, they are collected. All books from all over the world, they are collected there. So there is a vast opportunity for the student, the boy and the girl, to spend their time fruitfully here, to become really a high-level professional, in their specialty and in general, to raise to broaden their outlook and to raise their spiritual level. Regarding technical universities or technical specialties, very famous this Moscow Aviation University, Moscow State University of Civil Aviation, where they prepare, this is for prepare specialists. They give degrees for, for cosmos techniques, for robotics, information technology, like Moscow Power University. The courses are in English also, and in Russian. And you know that Russians are very famous for their engines. Even Americans are buying these engines, irrespective of other things. They're still buying. Keep that. And so these engines, the students are taught, and they learn these engines engineering.
Okay.
It is for Moscow, Civil Aviation University, for example, or Aviation University. And besides that, students feel themselves at home, when they come to Russia. They even when they leave, they work at their home or just a country or some other country, they always keep, a very warm corner in their heart for Russia. This I know for sure.
Okay.
They come meetings. Okay. So welcome to Russian universities. By the way, admission started already. Admission process started already. So very simple thing, very simple, starting with application, starting with sending your documents for this 10+2 certificate, passport copy, and medical fitness certificate. So very simple procedure for that. And the level of marks, it is usually above 50 for medical students. But of course, the higher is the better. But nevertheless, we can give admission for students who just completed their 10+2 studies in Russia. Every case is considered separately. Even the marks are a little bit maybe not so high, still we consider an opportunity how to help him. This is our target, just to help people, to help Indian students to get admission and to get specialty from Russia, to become professionals, useful for their own country.
Thank you so much, doctor. It's very informative, and it is my pleasure interviewed you for Kallarvoice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.